Hello and welcome to The Print. Today we have with us Palestinian Ambassador to India, Mr. Abu Al Haija. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir, to speak about the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
You are welcome in our embassy, and hope we will success to manage to give our point of view in this conflict.
Speaking of your point of view, we've seen Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas talk about the right for Palestinians to defend themselves amid this conflict. We've also seen him hold phone calls and meet with leaders of other Arab countries from Qatar and so on. What is the perspective of the Palestinian Authority when it comes to this conflict?
Let's say first of all about calling of President Mahmoud Abbas to the world, not one time, many times, including in the United Nations, that we need someone to defend the Palestinian people of the occupation, the Israeli occupation. Because the Israeli occupation are committed every day crimes against the Palestinian people. Now, when we talk today about the conflict in Gaza, I'm not going to start in Gaza. Today we have 15 meurtres in West Bank from the Israelis. They invade the Palestinian cities, or they shoot the Palestinian people who are just demonstrating against the occupation in West Bank. Yesterday, we lost 7 people. They killed 7 people. And today, up to now, 15 people. Right? So we, as a Palestinian people, need some power in the world to defend the Palestinian people under this occupation.
So would you say that the Palestinian Authority supports Hamas's Operation Al-Aqsa flood?
I don't want to say that we support, right? But we should look and ask why that has happened.
So I wanted to ask you how you are viewing the statements from India. We've seen over the weekend, Prime Minister Narendra Modi issued a tweet where he said India has extended full solidarity to Israel, and he has even termed the attacks as terror attacks. What is your take on that statement?
I read that, and I hope India will look to the conflict from the same point of view. India, by history, they knew what is the Palestinian cause. And they used to lead the world to support the Palestinian people to get their independence. So what has been changed? I don't know. The Palestinian people has not changed. The Palestinian people went to peace 30 years ago, 1993, and we have signed Oslo Agreement to get our independence according to that agreement in 1999. And since that time, the Israelis are destroying the two-state solution, confiscating land, killing people. They are destroying the two-state solution. They are not coming for peace. They want land and peace at the same time. They want the Palestinian people to live as slaves in their homeland, while the settlers who are coming from Russia, from Poland, from Ukraine, from ever to live as masters and do whatever they want, led by Ben Gvir and Smotrich and Netanyahu attacking the Palestinian people.
Now, the names you just mentioned are far-right leaders in Netanyahu's coalition. Now, just coming back to India, you're right. India has been traditionally vocal on the need for a two-state solution. Were you disappointed that this was not mentioned in the Prime Minister's tweet?
Yeah, again, I call India to look to the conflict from the same point of view. The Palestinian people are living under occupation. The problem is not Hamas. The problem is not the Palestinian armed people, because the international give the Palestinian or any people under occupation to use all means in their struggle against the occupation, including the armed struggle. Now, I have heard from many leaders in the world, not only India, that Israel has the right to defend itself according to the international law. Israel has never been adhered to any international law. We have in the United Nations more than 800 resolutions from the Security Council and from the General Assembly. Israel has never been implemented to one of them. One only. Where is the international? Which international law they are talking about? International law give the Palestinian the right for return. They give them the right to be independent in their homes, land, right? And the occupation are not allowed to confiscate land and build settlement, right? And put those settlers who are militias and daily attack the Palestinian people and killed.
So you are requesting India to see the conflict from both sides, the Palestinian struggle as you've described it, and the Israeli.
And India, as friend of both, hope they will interfere in the situation and make a pressure against the occupation, right, to implement the two-state solution or even one-state solution. We are ready to live in a democratic state with the Israelis if they accept that. But they are refusing everything. They are refusing the one-state solution or the two-state solution. They are destroying that every day. For how long the Palestinian people will live under occupation?
So we've talked about the Hamas attack and the potential motivations. You've talked about Israeli occupation in certain settlements. Could it also be that this has something to do with Israel's ongoing talks with Saudi Arabia for normalization of ties? We know that the Palestinian Authority has had a seat in some of those discussions. Is this Hamas's way of saying, listen, we want to also have a seat at the table?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. First of all, we don't know if there will be agreement, normalization, relation between Saudi Arabia and I'm sure, as Prince Mohammed bin Salman said, that the Palestinian cause is very important, right? So they are the country of the Arab Initiative also at the same time. Now, who is refusing peace is the Israelis, not the Palestinian people. They refused. All the Arabs have come to Israel and they said, this is Arab Initiative for peace, and all the Islamic countries, 51 countries, will get relation with Israel, but they refuse. They are destroying this every day.
I wanted to also speak to you about the reconciliation talks that have been going on between Hamas and Fatah over the last few years. Do you think this conflict will negatively impact those talks or maybe positively impact? How do you see it playing into this?
No, I don't think this conflict, it has any relation with the reconciliation between Fatah and Hamas. Let me say that it was for us, or we don't have any information that Hamas will do that anyway, right? But Hamas is part of the Palestinian people, and they see every day what's going on in West Bank. As I told you today, from the beginning of this year till 2 days ago, the Israelis have killed more than 260 people in West Bank. And add to that number 7 yesterday and 15 today, which it means 22. Add to that number, it's more than 280 in West Bank. I'm not talking about Gaza, right? In West Bank, they have killed that number. This is the most extreme government in Israel history. Netanyahu and his alliance. First of all, they don't recognize the Palestinian state, and we can notice that from the map shown by Netanyahu in the United Nations. There was no Palestinian state in the map. If they don't find a solution to the Palestinian people, and if we did not get our independence in the land of 1967 or with East Jerusalem, there will be no peace. The international community are responsible to find that and to make a pressure, right? We don't want to see more war. We don't want to see more bloodshed. We want peace. We want our children to live like any other children in the world. Let those people who give the Israelis, which the Israelis, they will understand that support from the international community in Europe or India or the United States in different way. And we are expecting lots of massacres of the Israelis in these days. I mean, the Israelis will bomb in Gaza, right? And make massacres. Last night, 17 people of the same family, women, children, old men, have been killed.
I would also ask you, while you're condemning the kind of occupation that's going on in the West Bank, while you're condemning these strikes by Israel, what do you have to say about the hostages that are being taken by Hamas? The kind of militants we saw walking the streets in southern Israeli cities, shooting people on the street. Would you be ready to condemn that as well?
Let me say, I condemn the killing of the civilian, if they are Palestinian or Israelis, right? Because also, I can't condemn the killing of the Israeli civilian while leave them to kill the Palestinian civilian. Any civilian, for us, it's condemned, right? Now, the hostages we are talking about, if they are military, they might ask to release the Palestinian also prisoners. We have more than 5,000. The Israelis, if they deal without apartheid regime, if they sentence the Jewish when they make crimes, as the Palestinian, if do the same, that will be fair. But there is apartheid regime, there is special law to the Jewish people and to the Israelis, and military law to the Palestinian people. Easily they can say life sentence in the Israelis court. Why the settler, when he kill Palestinian and really they catch the Palestinian if he do anything after a few hours, while the settler rarely find one. When in the high court, his sentence is you are not allowed to go to West Bank 2 weeks, right? Just after he killing a Palestinian child.
So you have qualms with the way these issues have been dealt with in court as well. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's one system. It's an apartheid system from the high court till the settler, with the government, with the political people, with the police or army. They are dealing one system against the Palestinian people, from the high court up to the settlers. And
have you conveyed these opinions of yours and this perspective of yours, have you conveyed this to the top Indian leadership here? Have you been in contact with them?
Yes, I've been in contact, and always when we have something, we meet, and hope I will meet now and tell them.
And lastly, just to bring it back to India, in May this year, you had mentioned or hinted at the fact that External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar may visit Palestine later this year. Any update on that, or whether this conflict is going to play a role in that?
Yeah, there was 2 options. First of all, I hope Mr. Shankar will visit Palestine, because we want him to see the situation on the land. We want him to see what is the military checkpoints in West Bank, what is the settlements in West Bank, what is the killing in West Bank. We want him to visit Palestine. The other option was to invite our minister to come to India, because he was busy with G20, with BRICS. So hope Mr. Jaishankar will visit Palestine. There is no update, to say the truth.
Okay.
But we called for that.
Well, Ambassador, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak about this important issue. We'll be monitoring it, and I'm sure you will too.
Thank you very much. And you are welcome always to this embassy, and always to discuss the Palestinian matter with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.